Alright, it's another week, another video. This one is a pen. I used to do some pens a long time ago. Everything's a long time ago. But I'm getting back into it, and I bought a nice pen kit that came with everything I need. We'll go over that a little bit later. First thing you'll need is a wood blank, or a piece of wood about 3/4 by 3/4, and you need to mark it where you want to cut it. And all you do is take the tube and mark it the length of the tube. This particular pen that I'm making is called a slimline, so both tubes are the same length. So I cut the wood at those marks in the middle and just let the tube be the length I cut it. I cut it a little bit long, just in case. And then we're going to drill it out with a 7mm bit. Actually, this is a brad point bit. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm fixing to show you it's a little bit off center. If you can see this, I'm actually holding it. So it's a little bit off center, and that's the tip of it making that mark. And it'll wobble just a little bit, but it's fine because we're going to turn it round in a little bit later. Be sure to, as you're going in and drilling the hole out, to pull it out and let some of the wood get out. If you pack all that wood and all the pressure in, you can actually split the blank, and then it's no good. If you'll notice on these blanks, I didn't put a line or anything because I'm just using the label to line it up. But you do need to make your marks when you cut it. I'm taking the chuck off so that I can put my pen mandrel in. It's a mortise taper 2 or MT2, and it's part of the kit that has everything you need. I usually use the 60-degree live center right there that I'm showing, but the tip on it's wearing, and so I wound up getting the mandrel saver. But actually they should call it a live center saver, because that's what wears out on mine. I had to slow it down because I was rushed on everything I've been talking about. I hadn't even taken a breath. Okay, so we have the wood blank, and you can see the line that I did on this one. And this is what you would do. You need to cut where you're going to cut it based on the length of the tubes. And normally I don't do that. I just use the label. And the reason you're marking it is so that you know how to put it on. You don't turn them around backwards or anything like that, or get them mixed up with another blank. And it's the way that you actually put them on the mandrel. The mandrel does come in the kit, and it comes pretty much with everything you need. And some kits come with quite a few pieces of blanks, wood blanks, or I keep saying wood, but it could also be a resin blank. And it comes with a knurl nut that you can tighten everything down. I won't be using that today. We're going to take these tubes and we're going to scuff them up with sandpaper and glue them into the wood. I'm sorry for being so far away with the camera. I'll make some changes in a minute. And this is the transmission that makes the ink cartridge go in and out at the bottom of the pen tip. This is the center ring that pretty much hides the joint of the two pieces of wood that goes together. This is the clip. And this is the tip. And this is the ink cartridge that goes in it. These are replaceable, and you can get them a lot of places. This is some medium CA glue that came with the kit. And as soon as I run out of it, I'll go back to Starbond. So we're scratching or scuffing up the tubes so they'll stick better. with the super glue or the CA glue in the wood. And I'm actually doing 2 pens, so I'm scuffing up these 2. Kind of slow it down and get a little closer. Try to show you nothing fancy, just 80 grit, just making it rough where it has something to grab hold to. I usually just put it on the bottom part, because if you do the whole tube, you wind up with a whole bunch at the top. It seems to work out pretty good. I keep forgetting that you can't see. And I'll do this other pen also. Fortunately, it's the same wood. And I used, it didn't come with any kind of accelerator, but I did get this from Starbond, so it worked. So we're fixing to use the barrel trimmer, which is just a type of reamer. It cleans out the inside of the tube if there's any kind of glue in there, and then it also cuts the wood down to make it flush with the tubes, so that it's the correct length. And when you're cutting it, you can usually see the little brass starting to cut, and you know that's good enough because you're just cutting the wood down to the brass. Once it starts looking shiny or you cut it, that's good. It's ready to go. And I usually just take a couple real quick dabs at it. All right, so now we've got the tubes glued in. We've got they're trimmed. We put our bushings on it. That's what's dividing the wood, so I can get to both sides of it. The bushings are also a gauge as to how thick the pieces are. So if you're looking at the cap, if this is the cap end of it, I'm going to turn it down to the bushing. And same thing on the other end for the tip, and same thing in the middle for the ring. And all 3 of these bushings are the same size for this particular pen kit, but there's a lot of pen kits that have some really fancy bushings and different steps and just a lot of different size things. So this is probably the best pen kit to get. And the particular starter kit that I got that had everything in it came with about 5 or 6 different pen kits, and they were all slimline. Slimline is just a good beginner's pen, and I like using them. You can still modify it and make it where it's not slim. You just got to get the ends of them to match up, and once you start, you'll see what I'm talking about. In other words, I could make it a little bit fatter in the middle, or however you want to do that. You still have that luxury, even with the slimline, or you can make it, completely slim. I'm using a carbide tip, square carbide, and you don't have to have that, but I've just gotten used to it, and it's nice. So now we're starting the sanding process, and this is pretty quick because I start at about 240 and then go to 320 and then 400, and it doesn't take long. It's not a lot of wood, and that's the 320 there. So it's it's an easy sand. It's not like scrubbing away on a bowl or whatever. This is 400. I think one of the nicest things is that the pens are just enjoyable. They're, I mean, the Slimlines I think are about $1 something, or maybe $2 for each pen, and it's something you can give away. And this is just a close up of the pen and the wood, not the pen, but the wood. Okay, so I'm working on the finish right now, and I've got something new that I'm trying out, and so far I really like it a lot. I got it from Brad's Workbench. I'll put a link in the description. And it's a sanding paste, and it's extra fine for sure. And it's 100% food safe, and it's tongue wax finish at the very end. And that's one of the reasons I did 2 different pens. I wanted to go kind of heavy on one pen with shellac, and then put this stuff on, and then this other one I wanted just to go with just this, a little bit of sealer, but not extensive. And it I'm sold on it. It's real good. But there's one thing that's kind of missing. He kind of vaguely talks about that it's real silky. That's an understatement. It is so slick, but it's not slick like you're gonna drop it or something. It's you just have to feel it. And for a pen, that's really important. You're not going to slide out of your hands or anything like that. It's just super super nice feel to it, and I think it's going to add a lot to anybody that's turning pens. They really need to try it. It's very affordable. I don't know if the price is going to go up anytime soon or not, but right when I bought it, it was like $12.95, and for both, and 4 ounces with the sanding paste and 2 ounces with the finish, wax finish. So I'm thumbs up for that. I want to do a review and try a couple of different things with it, and just let everybody know. But I just wanted to go ahead and say that with this particular video. So like I said, I'll be getting more, and we'll see what happens with bowls and some other things. I'm sure it's going to be nice. And one of the other things that I really do like, as bad as I talk about instructions, is that he did send instructions, and they're very clear. Uh, well, I have a habit of doing something or using something first and then going back to the instructions. But I mean, what man doesn't secretly read the instructions? But anyway, if he sees it and realizes that I didn't wait 10 to 15 minutes, I kind of just wanted to see what would happen. And it it's probably a little bit better, but maybe like I said, I just want to play with it some more and do some stuff. But I'm I can't say enough about it. I like the way it fills in all the grain, and when you're sanding it down like this and you're working with wood so small. Also with rings, I think that's going to be interesting. And I'm doing rings and have been for a while, so I think I'm going to try it on that. And it just really fills it up and seals it. And I don't know. I can't say enough about it, but give him a shout and try it. And so now I'm putting on the Denatured Alcohol and the Shellac. And for this pen, I'm going to try to just build it up a little bit more. I just want to see a difference in it, in the finish. I can't say enough about what it feels like though. And I think that I had actually put another coat that I didn't record, or I cut it out. Okay, so now I've bumped up to 600. And I'm fixing to put the sanding paste, which is extra fine and 100% food safe, from the great state of Texas. Well, actually, there's two great states, Georgia and Texas. But anyway, that's for another discussion. So like I said, I'm even doing it different than I did the first pen. The next pen I do, I will 100% follow the instructions, but this is the sand and paste, and with it spinning, rubbing it in. And then this is the tongue wax finish. You just got to try it to understand. The good news is it really doesn't take much to do it. All right, so the next little short clips are trying to show that you don't have to have all this expensive things to put pens together. I'm using a vise on my table right this minute. This is not really the way I do it, but I wanted to just do it about halfway because I wanted to go back to what I used to do a long time ago. And there's a gap in there, and I did that on purpose so I can finish it on the drill press. And I go ahead and press it the rest of the way with it. And this is the way I used to do it forever. And it's not the way I do it now, which I'll show you the way I do it now. And this is the way I've started doing it. You can use a waste block. You can use all kinds of different things. I just happen to have a piece of wood that I used part of it for something, and so now I just stick it in there, and then you just press it. Just keep turning it and press it on down. So now we're taking the transmission and putting it in the other end of the part that you're actually holding when you're writing. Kind of get it started. That's the other thing I meant to say with the tip. Just kind of get it straight and started the best you can. And I actually had the wrong live center on it. I went back to the factory one that comes with the Harbor Freight. It's kind of not that great for other things, but it's perfect for this because of the way it's made. And so now it's pressed in, and I'll put the cartridge in it and screw it in, and then I'll turn it to see it come out. And here again, I just hate that we're so far away. I'm definitely going to do something the next pen I do. Now, this is the clip and the cap, which goes on the top of the pen. Try to push it in just a little bit. I like working with it like this because everybody's accustomed to working with their left hand with the lathe, and so it feels comfortable, and you're watching to see the gap go away. And I usually pull the little clip just to make sure it's tight. See if it'll spin. It shouldn't. And you can turn the clip though if you want to position it a little bit different. And then lining up the grain, what I usually do on it is, instead of turning it forward, because if you do that, then now I'm putting the ring in the center of it. And then the top part on it. But what I usually do is I'll turn it toward me so that I'm actually spinning it, and then when I see the grains line up, then I push it together. If you go the other way, then the grains are only lined up when you're writing. And I think the grain needs to line up when it's just sitting on your desk or something. Well, that's it for this video. I want to thank Brad's Workbench, and y'all check him out. I have a link in the bottom. Please subscribe. Please watch more videos, and please leave a comment. And just remember, God is good.